Hello and welcome to the Loco Scooters YouTube channel. Today we'll be reviewing the VSETT 10 Plus, one of the most popular mid-level electric scooters currently on the market. It's the successor to the Zero 10X and one of the first scooters of its kind to have continuity of design throughout, and it's not just assembled as a collection of random parts. Aesthetically, it's quite a beautifully crafted machine, striking the perfect balance between its quite powerful looking setup and its exquisite good looks. What do I mean by mid-level? Mid-level is typically the category I use to describe scooters like the VSETT 10 Plus, Zero 10X, Dualtron Eagle and Kaabo Mantis 10. They're typically 35 to 40 kilos. They have got a maximum speed of 60 to 80 kilometers an hour and they're dual motor with 10-inch tires. The mid-level scooter is typically the flagship of each brand's range. You think of Zero, it's the 10X, you think of VSETT, it's the 10 Plus, and you think of Kaabo and it's the Mantis. What's the reason for that, you might wonder? And it's quite simple really. With the mid-level offering, you typically get all of the speed and spec that you desire without having to take on a scooter that's cumbersome or too heavy and a little bit tricky or more difficult to manage and live with. The VSETT 10 Plus is the pinnacle of this category in my opinion. It balances some genuinely impressive spec with a gorgeous finish which has been carefully considered and exceptionally well delivered. So let me take you through some of the finer details and specifications of the VSETT 10 Plus before we take this bad boy out on the road and show you what it can do. If you'd like to come a little bit closer, I'll take you through some of the specs. Starting from the ground up, we've got twin 1400 watt BLDC motors. These are wrapped in 10 by 3 inch tires. They're on split rims. The positive of the split rim is it makes it easier to repair punctures. The downside is they are of course tube tires. It's got the always fantastic nut hydraulic brake set, which is super easy to modulate alongside your EABS for control while braking. It's got this cool rear foot stand, which makes it way easier for you to brace and go with the scooter, taking a lot of the pull away from your arms and shoulders. This amounts to a much more comfortable, safer riding experience since there's no chance of the scooter leaving you behind. Integrated front and rear lights are housed in the deck, and these double as turn signals controlled by a button in the hand grips, which I will get to later. The deck houses the battery, which will be one of 3 versions depending on your budget and range requirements. First up, there's a 25.6 amp hour LG battery, which VSETT refer to as the Super. Then there's a 28 amp hour LG battery, which VSETT refer to as the Pro. And if you're looking to get your hands on a VSETT 10 Plus and you don't really have the budget and the range isn't that important to you, there is a 20.8 amp hour generic Chinese battery, which VSETT refer to as the Lite. It's got a rugged kickstand, which complements the scooter well. Too often we see €3,000 and €4,000 scooters with a flimsy €15 kickstand. This one fits in really nicely with the look and feel of the VSETT 10 Plus. The rubberized deck pad is a gorgeous finish. One of my pet peeves with high-powered electric scooters is that most have grip tape, which very quickly becomes dirty and unsightly. Not the case here with this easy-to-clean rubber deck pad. A notable feature on the deck are the dual charging ports. This particular feature has its fair share of naysayers and yaysayers. On other scooters like the Zero 10X, we see the charging port on the side of the scooter where they can be typically subject to impact damage with doorways and curbs. A lot of the time with side-mounted charging ports, we see the covers missing from impact again with doorways and curbs, and this exposes the port to ingress of water and dust. With the ports mounted on the deck, they're protected from impact damage and you're guaranteed not to lose your charging port covers or accidentally get water or dust in your charging ports. The downside is for those with larger feet, you may find yourself standing on them due to the relatively short deck length of the VSETT 10 Plus. The 3-step folding mechanism is one of the standout features of the VSETT 10 Plus. A stainless threaded retaining bolt screws into the steering pole with both the clasp and the spring-loaded pin, keeping the steering pole safely secured, and most importantly, this eliminates all wobble. The cockpit is a real thing of beauty with the continuity of the yellow colourway seen on the ends of the hand grips and the handlebar folding clamps. I would call these quick releases, but they're not quick enough to earn that title. There's a bit of unscrewing required before the quick release function is possible. The ergonomics of the hand grips are pretty much identical to the older Zero 10X, and these are very comfortable even on longer rides. The turn signal buttons are integrated into the handlebar grips right here. On the left hand side of the cockpit there's this really appealing switch box which contains the sport mode button, the dual motor button and the horn. Sport mode is available every 5 minutes for a maximum duration of 2 minutes. This allows extra power and speed, but for a limited time to prevent overheating. The horn is probably the worst thing about this scooter and can really only be described as pathetic. I mean, why did they even bother including it? On the business side of the cockpit is the LCD throttle. This displays the usual information like speed, odometer reading, remaining battery, and allows access to the program settings, which we go into in another video. It's also got this cool NFC tag reader and you get 3 NFC tags with your new VSETT 10 Plus. You'll need one of these in your possession if you want to start your scooter. You can rewrite any NFC tag to your reader, and this is great if you want to stick an NFC sticker inside your phone case and use that to unlock the scooter. Up to 10 tags can be written at any one time. Here you've also got your voltage meter, which is typically a much better indicator of the remaining range. So that's all the spec covered. Now let's get this thing out on the road and show you how well the VSETT 10 Plus handles. Have we got any volunteers to test drive this for us? Hello? Anybody in there? Can you test drive this for us? Okay, great. What a weird little guy. Whoa, he's flat out. Who is that guy? This thing has got tons of power and acceleration from a standing start, and we have achieved a maximum tested speed of 70 kilometers per hour. It doesn't quite line up with the more generous 80 kilometers per hour shown on the display. We absolutely love getting out on the road with the VSETT 10 Plus whenever the opportunity presents itself. The VSETT 10 Plus handles extremely well, but we would recommend you consider a steering damper if you're traveling at high speed. Check out our full range of VSETT electric scooters at our Blanchardstown showroom, or visit locoscooters.ie to shop online. So that appears to be it from our very own Stig, or as he prefers to be called, Skidmark. He seems to have enjoyed himself, right?